Aries. This is a message for Aries energy. It's a message for Aries sun, moon, and rising sign. It's a timeless message, so it comes to you when you're supposed to hear it, when you need to hear it, when you call it into you. Please take this energy where and how it resonates in your life. Feel free to share it if you like. If you're looking for personal readings, I do those. I'm pretty sure I don't have any other availability this week, but you could check out my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and check the service that's right for you. Something only comes out in the past if it's impacting today. So, this is what's come out. It's staring at me in the past. Now, this is your energy. This is Aries energy. Be fearless and bold. It's coming out in the past, but it's looking right at me. So it's either trying to tell me that there was something that you've always wanted to do and kind of hid from it, or you once had this confidence and something has now gotten in the way of it. Let's see what's come out in front of me. We have trust the great mystery. Wow. This is about diving in and having faith and trusting that you know what, God's going to catch you. It's kind of like that faith catch with the universe. The sense of just jump in, right? Even if it is over your head, the sense of you will float, you will be buoyant, you will be provided for. Also connecting with things vibrationally as opposed to quantifiable things. This card, take time out. Brown bear. It's in reverse. So when it's in reverse, this is an energy of feeling extremely vulnerable. So why has this been fearless? So what's telling you, what this is setting up for, is saying where once in a situation in your life where once you just felt really confident and really competent and just were like gung-ho, right? Straightforward, direct. You knew yourself, you knew where you were headed. Now you're at a time where you have to trust things that aren't directly in your control. And there is a requirement and a feeling of vulnerability, of openness that's either required for this situation, a sense of trust. Trust yourself, trust you're ready, or remember you know yourself. Remember everything you know. Remember everything you have learned. Remember everything that you've been through to get to this point. So even though you may not recognize the situation or the environment, you certainly recognize yourself, Aries. And it is time to trust that moving forward, you will continue to be yourself in this different situation. But certainly what is in front of you now is requiring a level of vulnerability that is going to call for a deep connectivity through faith. I love this card because it's 6 plus 5, which means it's also 11. And this card is interesting too because the energy on it is a 9 energy, which is something is coming to consciousness, understanding. It's coming to completion. It's just about ready. But this is in reverse, which makes it a 6, which still speaks of pleasures. Let's say, be fearless and bold. And now you feel vulnerable. That's growth. I think that we think that we're growing when we feel real good about a situation, you know? When the pace is just real like that and, oh my God, we feel so much confidence, right? Oh, that must be when we're growing. No. When we're growing is when we're down and out. When we're growing is when we're insecure or unstable. When we're growing is when we feel like the earth is not steady underneath us. That is actually when we're growing and becoming stronger. So you are being asked to be as fearless and bold as you have ever been before by trusting yourself in a situation where you are not completely confident or competent. So let's dig deeper, though. Let's put it this way. Both of these cards suggest one thing. You, my friends, are somehow, in some way, in over your head. And maybe this is a sink or swim situation. Maybe you entered into a situation too frickin' quickly. And now the lesson in here and how you grow and expand is to recognize how important it is to not do that again. And you're starting to see why, because this situation is certainly requiring more from you than you feel like you have to give. And you feel like you're out on a limb with nobody's help, nobody protecting you, and you're just sort of going with the motions, going with the flow and proceeding in faith, which is not a bad thing. But it certainly is this sense of, I am in over my head. So what does Aries do? What happens here? You were feeling really good while you were by yourself. Oh, somebody's in it for the long haul. Slow and steady wins the race. We have the Knight of Pentacles here. Okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles, so slow and steady wins the race, or something is trickling in. Maybe money has been slow, but at least it has been reliable. This is about slow, reliable energy. It's also about the feeling of carrying responsibility for somebody else's value, as opposed to going out and finding the value yourself. This could be about a new situation, a new relationship, but we also have this, which is standing your own ground, being by yourself, and figuring out your own sense of self-worth. This could also be money had trickled in, but there is a new opportunity coming to you that is going to pay. So where you may have felt vulnerable for right now, at least financially, there could be an uptick and a security that's coming to you. That's always good. And then we have King of Wands. That would be you showing up in your own reading. You're competent in whatever you're dealing with. You really do have this. And I love that this is kind of showing me that looking back on this situation, you are now more certain of yourself, or will become relatively soon more certain of yourself than ever. You may be looking back thinking, God, I wish I had stayed single. Some of you may absolutely be doing that. Because when you are not, there is a level of skill and diplomacy that you need that you don't need when you're just living large by yourself. It's like everybody always wants to be in a relationship, right? But then when they get in one, they realize how freaking hard it is. And it is hard. It is a challenge, and especially for Aries, because partnership is absolutely the diametric opposite of individuality. When in reality, they are actually attached and they actually rely on each other. So the only time that true individuality is reached is when you have understood yourself well enough to know how to get along with others, right? And the only time you can have a really strong partnership is when you have a strong sense of who you are and can be honest with yourself be honest with yourself with somebody else, so that they can equally be honest with you. So this is that sort of toggle point, but we have this energy of kind of like looking back. There's some sort of offer here that was made to you with something that you are very, very good at. So even if this is like a new situation and there's sort of transition here, this, at least for right now, is looking really freaking good for you, Aries, because there is that sense of singularity in terms of, I don't need anybody to tell me I'm worth it. And you should never need anybody to tell you that you're worth it. It is nice to hear. I absolutely agree with that. But you should never need anybody to tell you that you're worth it. I don't know. It just seems like you are looking forward to some alone time, or having to be once again just worried about sort of self-reliant, let's call it. Let's get into the moon card here. There's more to this story. Remember, there's always an extended reading where I can be totally candid with you, and I hope you guys will come across for it after this reading, though, please. I want you to hear this whole reading. Aries, we do have this moon coming up, this new moon solar eclipse. Your commitment is being okay. Your commitment is being tested, in case you didn't know. But I got a feeling that you already knew, didn't you? Oh, we got more of the past. Okay. Your commitment is being tested. So things are going to get harder before they get clearer. Hold on. We also, oh, yep. A time to give rather than take, because there's something in the past where it's like almost like you owe somebody, or you feel majorly indebted to somebody. Maybe this is actual debt as well. So there is this sense of a time to give rather than take. You took a lot. You entered in, let's review. I don't know what I'm talking about yet. You know what I'm talking about though. You entered into a situation quick. You flew in. You were determined, bold, brash, didn't think about it. Just went right in. Maybe it cost you a lot of favors. Maybe it cost you a lot of debt. It cost you a lot of something because you were a taker in this situation. You were not the giver. Or you didn't feel you were worthy of receiving. So you thought, oh, I got to do this all by myself. Right? I'm standing on my own, here. This is in over my head. And it's when you start to realize, wow, I was not too clever with what I dove into, because now it is definitely becoming a reality. And am I really committed to what I said I'd do or who I said I'd be with? Because there is this sense of independence. There is this sense of money coming in, finances coming in. And it's almost like you're going to get a resolution. There's not this looming thing over your head. There is that sense of, yes, the value is going to start to trickle in. You do have confidence here, but I want to get more details. What do you mean, God? Why is our commitment being tested? Because you feel like you're in over your head. That's what I just heard. And that's definitely when you learn how to swim, right? Throwing yourself in. Okay, all taken and no given. This is some sense of repayment, making peace with the past, recompense, reconciliation, or burying the hatchet, or a sense of personal forgiveness, forgiveness, reflecting on all that you have been through. And then coming out to stand on your own 2 feet. Upon reflection, there is a maturation here. So you are definitely taking a look back and seeing things with way more mature eyes now. So you could have never made the decision that you needed to make when you were making the decision, because you didn't have the information, and you wouldn't have had the information, Aries, until you went through all this to become the person that you needed to be to have the information. Well, now you have the information. Something is quite clear, and there is a reconciliation here. There's a reflectiveness here, a reflection, maybe just taking time out, giving yourself some time off. Maybe you need a frickin' break, right? Because there's still confusion here. Though we have the 9 of Pentacles, there's a lot of offers that are going to be opening up for you. Don't let yourself be confused. If you don't see something that you want, don't try to convince yourself you want it. Have patience enough to not jump in again. Because what it's saying is, how much have you learned? And this is really the warning of the reading. You've been down this situation before, Aries. You have seen it at this point and experienced the, oh shit, I really shouldn't have jumped in so quickly. You have done it. You have seen it. You have recognized what comes of a situation when you do it, the discomfort, the vulnerability, the irritability, not wanting to feel it. Well, now you've had a fresh start. But not too long from now, what's going to come up is another turn around the board. And will you have really learned to not jump in again? This card is actually a warning card, because what it says is, oh, you have lots of options. It's confusion. It's distraction. It's not, let me say this to you. If you were certain about what you wanted, if you were certain that you were looking at something that you wanted, there would be no confusion at all. And there wouldn't be no other options. You would know right away what it was. This is just fucking distraction. And it could be distraction because what you are not allowing yourself to admit is what you actually want, which is independence. Because that's what's coming out loud and clear. some sort of freedom or independence. Will they get it? Hard work. You'll get it through hard work. It might be something to do with work, or you've been working really hard, because we have the Eight of Pentacles here, which is putting all the effort in. Putting all the effort in. Okay, so what is this, God? For Aries, please. We got to give them some answers, because what is the Seven of Cups? Why? What is the Seven of Cups? Why is the Seven of Cups here? Please clarify. Okay. It's like abundance that appears out of it's like abundance that appears out of nowhere. Okay, hold on. One step at a time. First, we have Two of Pentacles. So these are some sort of financial struggles or difficulties or something that was, we're going here with finances, but you take it where it resonates. Your life wasn't stable. And it's like you didn't feel like you could handle everything that you were being asked to handle. But you were trying to get more stability. So there was efforts to get more stability. So maybe you took a new job, took new work, or you were working really hard at something. Then we have, okay, this sense of, will I ever feel like I am independent or can stand on my own? The Seven of Cups was clarified by the Page of Swords and Wheel of Fortune. So information coming in, a conversation that you had that was really prosperous, fortunate, and lucky, but there's also a lot of worry and concern here because it requires more fucking commitment. And that's what the red flag is. Hello, you're not sure yet if you want to tie yourself down to this commitment. And every time you think about it and try to convince yourself of it, you know why, Aries? You already have your fucking answer. You don't want it. Let's go to the extended to see if we can hash this out more. I'll see you there.